How are we going, folks? It is freezing again today. Now, it's been 2 or 3 days of constant rain on and off continuously, and this place is flooded. Our dam's sitting about 90% full. The water's almost under the bridge, which is fantastic, and that's what we want to see. But my concern is that we've got a few trees, especially the young trees that I've planted, and you've seen them in the recent days or weeks. Some of them sitting in water, and I showed you the olive tree, and I'm going to go back and have a look at that one as well. But I thought, let's go for a walk around and see which trees are actually suffering, and if they are drowning, what we can do to rectify the problem. Because the last thing you want is wet feet for too long a period, because the trees will basically go backwards. They won't survive. The roots will die off and problems start occurring. So let's go for a walk. Have a look at this. This is our Maya lemon tree, the espalier fruit trees. This is so soft here. Oh. Now, this is a raised bed, so it drains really well. I'm not worried about water sitting in this area here, and I'll show you what I mean. So the mulch is great, but it's still wet, but it's not puddling up. So the soil's moist, but if I dig down about 20 centimetres, I'll do it away from the roots to see what it's like. So this is what we're talking about, raised beds. Soft, it's still moist, not too bad, but it's not boggy. It's not a boggy soil. See that? It's crumbling up. So that's good. That's a good sign. We haven't got a problem there. But the tree needs a feed. Yellowing. And you can't do much about feeding if the ground's super wet. But what you can do is put some EcoBoost and Liquid Gold spray, foliar spray. That will green it up pretty well. And you can have a look at this. We've already got flowers coming on too. There's new growth coming on. It's okay. The tree will be fine. The cold weather's just giving it a hard time. The others are looking okay. The orange, the lime, the mandarin down the end, they're fine, so we won't worry about these ones. Let's go over here. These olives are okay. They're not holding water. The ground's wet regardless. It is moist everywhere, but what I'm looking for are puddles. Puddles around the base of these trees here. Ignore the weeds, folks, because 20 acres, you can't expect me to weed everything at once, and at the end of the day, I'm more focused on planting than weeding. But these trees here are okay. They're not, see, there's no water. Look at that. It's wet, and admittedly it's going to be wet, obviously, because it's rained, but it's not holding water. No puddles here, not like the dam over there. How gorgeous is that? Now, this is the lowest point in our property, so you'd expect it to be holding water. But because we've got the larger trees and the pines around there, they're sucking up all the moisture out of the ground, obviously with the grass and the weeds. These trees need to be staked up. Now, a couple of you have asked me, why don't I stake my citrus trees? It's because I've got a big root system, but it's actually quite windy down here. This one needs to be staked up, this lemon tree, so it's been blown over a bit. So yeah, I've got to come back here and give them a good stake. I like it medium rare too. If you want to know what I'm talking about when I'm saying we've got running water everywhere here, folks, come and have a look at our creek. That comes in from the northeast side of our property, flows through out off the property and comes back in on the lower side again. This running water happens maybe once or twice a year, and it doesn't last long, meaning a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and it's a beautiful sight, isn't it, to have running water like that. Now I'm heading out to the paddocks to go bear the blistering winds, especially now with no beard. It is freezing. I'm going to go check those olive trees out, because I reckon they've got just as much water underneath them in their root zone as we have here in the creek. Are you kidding me? It's turned into a jacuzzi. It's a fire pit. Bugger. Now, we've spoken about these olive trees in the past, because the last time we had some rain, we said hopefully it'll drain away and the rains will go away. But as you can see, the rains haven't gone away. I sunk into this. I think that's my footprint in here. Yeah, is it this way anyway? One of these ones. Look at this. You can't expect this tree to survive. If you've got a problem like this, folks, you've got to lift it out. I can sit there and do this, for example. Aerate it. It may work. Get the water to drain away. Look where it's going. See that? It's just going to sit there. It's not going to go down. It's boggy down all the way. So that's one option. The other one, I might see if this works too, is actually dig a little, whoa, listen to that. a little moat, a little trench around the tree to get the water to drain away from the tree. Oh, come on. It's disgusting, isn't it? So the aim is to dig down low enough to get down to where the roots are, or at least parallel with the roots, so the water disperses across into this little channel that we create. See, it's a bit drier on this higher side, it's a bit more compacted, but still, still muddy. You're not going to get the best shape here. Well, let me finish it off and see what happens. Now, this is not going to be the ideal solution for all of you at home, because not all of you got a paddock like this where you can just simply trench it and dump this slurry outside of it, because obviously some of your gardens are landscaped and looking really pretty, and you probably got paving around the outside. So rather than trenching it like this, I'll show you another option in a second, but let me finish this off. Yeah, this water ain't going anywhere. Look at it. I'm try and get even lower than the roots to get it to drain out. That's already better. Have a look at that. Yeah, it's wet, but it's getting a bit more airflow down below. I'm just going to get rid of this slurry as well here. Oh, look at it. Yuck. Now that's an example of what you can do at home if you've got the space and you're not too fussed about the end result, or simply just get a barrow and just chuck all your waste soil into it, get rid of it, create a little trench. Now, I'm not going to leave that tree like that. That's just to demonstrate what you can do with your trees, especially the young ones. If they're a big tree, I wouldn't be worried so much, because it shouldn't be suffering. But these young ones like these ones here, yeah, we've got a bit of growth there, but if it stays wet, it will cause a lot of damage to these roots. So all we're going to do is lift it up like that a bit. It's not a lot, it's unstabilizing it, that's for sure, because we're uplifting it. But that's what I'm going to have to do to these trees down the end here. I'm being careful, not a shovel, a garden fork. Don't use a shovel in this instance here, because you'll cut into the roots. Even the garden fork may cut some of the roots off, but do much less damage than a shovel will. So that's unstable now, but we've got air in the base. It's not going to stay like this. I've got to come back here with a big load of soil, lift these trees up and mound that up so that I've got better drainage underneath. So this tree is going to come up about 20 centimetres, about this much above ground, and that way it drains out below. That one's going to stay there like that for now. We'll do one more. Mate, not one more. Are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3, they're all drowning. It's like a blocked sewage drain. Just that is enough. It's got air there. Did you hear that? That little suction noise? I'm releasing the pressure in there, getting some air into it. That's good for the tree. That's all it needs. Oh. Punch a few holes in the top, aerate it. And that's all you can do. So if you've got trees sitting in the ground, folks, and they're drowning, or even small plants, it doesn't have to be a tree, it can be any type of plant. If it's sitting in wet feet like that, no doubt if you leave it there for too long, it's going to go backwards. You don't want that to happen. After all the love and attention you're giving your garden, the least you can do is go out there, punch a few holes with a fork, or lift them up, or even dig a little trench around the outside. And we are getting into spring. In the northern parts of Australia, it's already warm enough there. Get your black grit into the garden, because you're going to see yourself bigger flowers, better fruit, better vegetables, and everything else you love seeing from your garden growing. From me, Vasily, Maresi, vasilisgarden.com.